Happy May. Holy, what a month April was. Things are slowing down slightly, temporarily, before my life gets crazy again. So I'm back with another bangers. Bangers? $20 bangers. So these are $20 cards or less that I think present really good upside, that have relatively protected downside. I'm mostly in these videos trying to pick cards that haven't had massive movement. Uh, so there are a lot of people out there that'll watch cards have big movement and then reference the card. I think it's a little bit backwards. I'm looking for cards that have some sort of unique feature that I think will present really good opportunity going forward. Um, for some of my, I want to take a second for some of my recent picks that I had done that have done really well. So I had the Chansey from Twilight Masquerade's done really well. The Articuno doubled since I talked about it. The Infernate from, what was the other Infernate? I think it doesn't matter. The one where he's like up in your grill. Twilight Masquerade as well, I think. Um, anyways, so there's obviously, I want to be clear, I'm no market, I don't think I'm some market wizard. The Pokemon hobby has been insane across the board. I'm just making the point that these are not just willy nilly guesses, these are well thought out in terms of what the artwork is, the rarity, and what I think that the downside is, which in the case of these cards, I think is not much lower than what they are right now. So, hopping right into it. Our first one today is the Emolga from White Flare. I think an important message to people who are getting into the hobby, who are trying to figure out which kind of cards to pick and things that, first of all, look nice that you want to hold in your collection, and second of all, are cute. I think cuteness, it goes a very long way, and not don't do not underestimate it. Right? We sell oftentimes at tables. We do like card shows and things like that, and in my experience, we've sat near a lot of people who have these crazy, like expensive. They've got all the Van Goghs and they've got all the this and that, but they don't have like the lower end binders that we carry. And we get a lot more business in those higher end cards than some people who are near us. And the reason that happens is the girlfriend or the son or daughter or the whoever, they see these lower end cards like these Emolgas and things like that, and they go, "Oh my god, that's so cute," whatever. And now they're looking through your binder, right? And so now the dad, the boyfriend, the husband, the mom, whoever it is that's interested in Pokemon, who has the bigger money, they're now standing at your table. They're now there, um, looking at these great cards that you have. And you might have some of the same cards at that table across the way you did. You might have some cards that aren't even as interesting, but you didn't get the attention right away. You didn't have those entry points. So I would keep that in mind when I say these. If you are a business, that these are good types of cards to look at owning. And if you just want to collect and put them in a binder, then by all means, these are awesome ones that I think are good cards to appreciate. So, Emolga, yeah, White Flare, it's just such a cutie. I think Emolga is a one of those Pokemon that is a staple. Like it'll just kind of hang out in the call it B tier or C tier popularity. Like people like Emolga, people think Emolga's cute. It's never going to be this huge whatever big name Pokemon, but if it were, this would not be a $10 card. So that's where we get these opportunities. On top of that, White Flare has a ton of room to run. It is an exceptional set. I honestly think it's just as good as Black Bolt. I don't think that there's, and I could even argue that I think White Flare is slightly better in terms of depth. That's completely my opinion, but in any case, both of those sets have a lot of room to go, as people's attention is just kind of everywhere else right now. And yeah, I just think that this is a really good opportunity to look at it at $10 range. Second one, this is kind of goes against what I said at the start because it has been running absolutely massively and it seems to be unstoppable. Is the Lugia V from Silver Tempest? Obviously, we're in a sub $20 video. I'm not talking about the alt art. I'm talking about the basic V. There's a few interesting notes about this card that I think is important. So first of all, artwork is sensational. Like if you actually take a second and look at this card in person, the detail on a card that isn't an alt art, this isn't an IR, this isn't an SIR, this is a standard card. So in terms of the availability of these, it's still very good. It's still very easy to go and pick these up. But it's just a wonderful artwork. It's Lugia, who's a hugely popular Pokemon, and I want you to never underestimate the power of big name Pokemon posted up. Like I've said this so many times before, but when you see like your Lugia and it's just posted up, and there's no other Pokemon, there's nothing else going on. You see your Charizard posted up, and it's a full style art like this one is, even though it's not a full art, it does take up the most of the card. Um, these types of cards do really well. Like popular Pokemon in your face. That's it. They do well. And I may be wrong. I don't want anybody to blindly trust me as some random guy on the internet. I think you should make your own decisions. But if you do like the card, then you never lose in this hobby. And that's my favorite part is that if I'm buying a card that I think will do well and it tanks by 50%, right? I just don't care because I don't have the card for just the value. I have the card also because I think it's wonderful. Um, the artist of this card, I'm probably going to butcher his name, so I apologize in advance, is Mitsurio Arita. He is an OG, so I encourage you, and maybe if I remember, I'll put the link in the description for you to check him out. He did the Team Rocket's Mewtwo for Ascended Heroes most recently, cards that people would be, fresh on your mind. But you can go down the list, and his artwork is just so good constantly for since day one. So he was a day one artist. Um, he's been making these arts since for forever, in terms of Pokemon, quite literally. And as much as I respect the guys like Shinji Kanda, and some of the newer artists that are getting some hype, you gotta respect the OGs and somebody who can change with the times. Like he's done the clay modeling ones in the early days versus now going to something like this Lugia or the Dialga V alt art from Astral Radiance. It's really just an impressive showcase of art, and I do think that that'll have longevity. As this, he will be back. He will come back with some big name Pokemon. I will bet big money on that, and I am not a gambling person. Um, I would bet big money on this guy showing up again with a major chase card and really just getting his name back out there. This card also has a play stamp version, so it's outside of that $20 range, but the play stamp version's an excellent play. I am telling you, the Radiant Greninja play stamp being worth double what this card is worth doesn't make sense at all. I if you like the play stamp things, if you think they're cool, then I would try and find one of those. Um, Particularly if you could hunt down like a PSA 9 right about now, that would be a awesome play in my opinion. Moving on to the next one, I've seen this one in videos before, but I'm not opposed to echoing other people's opinions so long as like I say, the card has something unique about it. This is the Blaziken from Destined Rivals. So Blaziken's a quite popular Pokemon. I think this artwork is very unique. I don't know of a lot of other artworks that kind of have this, I don't know what to call it, I guess saturation action pose in this case. It's pretty awesome. For 15 bucks, this is one of those safe picks. I don't have a ton about to say about this. Destin Rivals is going to run, or this one will run in some order, but it's a safe pickup. Blaziken is not going anywhere. Destin Rivals isn't going anywhere. Um, I would take the chance to pick this up at that $15 mark, 100%. Next one is the Oricorio from Mega Charizard XEX box. So I've said this one in a video before. The reason I like this one so much, obviously, it's the Shinji Kanda artwork that is, most notable, that is still cheap. So a lot of the, I guess, full art, or I should say, IRs or SIRs or alt arts from him have already done a lot of movement. This one's been incredibly stagnant, and because the Charizard XEX box, Jesus, that's a mouthful. XEX box is still relatively affordable and it's still getting ripped. I do see this being really readily available for the next year or so. Once that box kind of gets out of range for people of realistically something that you're going to open, I can see this card making a move like not dissimilarly to what you've seen out of the 151 promos. I'm not ignorant to the fact that the 151 promos are of more popular Pokemon, but I do think that this is a better artwork. So I can see it being in a similar sort of like price movement. The other one with this that I saw while I found this Oricorio is the Paldean Faith Shiny is also like $2 or $3, which is super interesting because I can see the shinies are going to be one of those like collector sets that people want to get in the future. And with that said, the Oricorio being like a relatively low interest card right now, it might be a good opportunity to pick up several of them because at the end of the day, like if you think about some of the sets that exist, it will start to pull up some of the less popular cards just because people are actively searching for them. Just my opinion, but I would definitely have more conviction on the Shinshikanda Oricorio than the Paldean Faith, but still just an interesting one to look at. Our last one today is the Tepig from White Flare. So we got two White Flare on this list today. Like I said, it's got insanely good depth, and this is just what a cutie. Like for real, look at Tepig just out here. I'm biased on this topic. I do like these middle sort of early generations, I will say, that aren't Gen 1 and 2. So you'll notice that from my picks. At least I feel I'm younger than most of the people who talk on YouTube who are very like they think of just Gen 1 and Gen 2. I definitely think of Gen 4 to Gen sort of 6 as my main area of nostalgia. So certainly bias. This card's had some movement already. I do think it has a lot of room to grow. It's a starter, and the artwork is just out of this world good on this card, like most of White Flare. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're sponsored by Shamangames.ca. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. What are you picking up right now? And as a thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, here is a photo of Tingus Pingus. Y'all didn't think I was going to say Tingus Pingus.